Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Web3 Boy, and I was doing the journey towards journey of Web3 auditing and blockchain auditing. So I have just started this. I have completed everything about Solidity. I have completed everything about JavaScript and a little bit about React Native and moving on forward, I was thinking, why not deep dive into Open Zeppelin's every CTF games. CTF games are basically the capture the flag games. So you'll be given a challenge in the beginning, and what you'll have to do is there are different types of challenges. What you will have to do is you just have to complete the challenges they have given. Basically, there is a bug in the code, or there is some kind of some kind of challenge in the code that you have to crack, and that basically makes up your mind about the there are some repeated bugs in the code. There are certain repeated hacks that have to be taken care of, and that is what Ethernaut is basically trying to do. So basically they will give you just one challenge at a time, and you'll have to just complete that challenge, and then you'll move on to the next challenge, and that's how it works. So I think if anyone who is getting into the blockchain auditing definitely knows what Ethernaut is, and so that's why I thought there are 26 challenges. I'll do every 26 every of the challenges. I'll just complete it. I'll share the review with you guys, and we'll be doing this together. And one more thing, after completing this 26 challenges, I'll move on to another CTF game, that is Damn Vulnerable DeFi. And what Damn Vulnerable DeFi is, basically they have the codes and the games that are set up according to the DeFi development, right? Decentralized finances code, like Uniswap and PancakeSwap and like those. So that is it, guys, and I'll just start it. What you need from the first challenge is you'll need your MetaMask wallet. So this is my MetaMask wallet, and I have this faucet Goerli ETH. What you'll have to do is first just come on the Ethernaut Open Zeppelin page, and what you'll have to do is you'll have to just select from here. This is the first challenge. You just select it. Hello Ethernaut is the first challenge. This is very easy challenge, very basic challenge. This is basically just the setup of your challenges, and so what it is saying is just set up your MetaMask. Just install the MetaMask. Anyone who is watching this video, I know I hope they know how to install MetaMask. You just go to the Chrome extension and search for MetaMask and just install it, right? Second, they are saying the game will notify you and bring you to the default Goerli testnet, right? So you'll have to get the Goerli testnet. What you'll have to do is just go to Google and search for goerlifaucet.com, and it'll redirect you to one of the Alchemy's faucet page, where you just have to verify it. Just verify that you're a human, and you have to log in from here. After logging in, what you'll have to do is you just paste your address here, and just click on the send me ETH. It'll send you the Goerli ETH, right? So you go on to your MetaMask, and after opening your MetaMask, you'll have to select your network also. So here you'll see your default network will be Ethereum mainnet. What you'll have to do is you just go on and select this Goerli test network. Either you can select this one or Sepolia, whatever you think is right for you. Goerli right now is being deprecated, and sometimes in the future you might not find any of the test ETH for Goerli network, so you just move on to the Sepolia network, right? And one more thing before moving on forward, what I do is I am also starting my journey. So just go on YouTube and search for Ethernaut challenge, and you will find there are three guys who are basically doing who have done Ethernaut challenges in the past. First is this guy, DeFi Developer Academy. Second is Smart Contract Programmer, and third one is D Squared. I am referring to the D Squared guy, and the D Squared guy is referring to the DeFi Developer Academy, right? So I think whatever suits you best, you just go there and just watch their tutorial, or if you're comfortable with my tutorial, you can just watch my tutorial too, right? So okay, then it says, second point, it says open the browser console. What you'll have to do is you just right click on the console, you just go on inspect, and here you can find the console, right? Just click on the console, right? So they have basically set up everything for you. Here it says hello Ethernaut, level address is this, right? It says you should see a few messages for the game, and that's it. You can write player. It says player, so player will show you an address, and this address will certainly match with your this address, your MetaMask address, right? Wallet address. So this is your address, and here it is, it is just same. So that is it. And it says go to the third point. It says use the console helpers, right? You can also see your current ether balance by typing get balance. So you can see get balance, it is here, and then you can do player, right? So it says promise, right? Since it is using a JavaScript code, so you can it is throwing you a promise. What you'll have to do is you'll have to add a wait, and then just do get balance, and then player, right? So it will just show you here it is 0.31. You can just match it with your wallet's balance, and your wallet's balance is I see 0.3164 Gorlith, and this is exactly the same, right? One thing to notice here is, let me show you, if there are like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 and 18. So here there are 18 digits after the decimal, and you guys must know that Ethereum basically uses 18 decimal floating points after as its standard, and certain other tokens use different decimal standards, but basically Ethereum is using 18 decimal standards, right? So this is it, guys. And if you see note, it says expand the promise to see the virtual. It says await get balance. You can do the await also, right? I have already shown you that you can do await, right? If you go onto the promise, you can see here, I guess, if you go onto the promise, you can see this also. But if you want it to directly show your balance, you'll have to add await, right? Then it says great to see what other utility functions you have in the consoles, right? So anything, like if you want to see what console is offering you, you can just click on help, and you'll have to do help, and then you'll have to do this bracket also. It'll show you different commands that you can type in and get something out of it. So player basically shows current player address. Ethernaut basically shows main game contract. Level shows current level contract address, and so on and so forth, right? So you can check everything out of it. Get balance, and if you paste in the address, you'll get the balance of address, any address, random address, I guess, like in Ether. Okay, this is it, guys. You can just delete everything from here, clear everything from here, clear the console. And next, fifth point, it says enter the following command in the console. Ethernaut, the Ethernaut contract. If you want to see the Ethernaut contract, you can just just click here and just enter, and then here it is. This is the Ethernaut's contract, right? So and then fifth, it says interact with the ABI, right? So I mean, anyone who is confused what ABI is, ABI basically is application binary interface. If I'm correct, it is this only, application binary interface. But with to expand it, it is just a name for it. But if you want to know in the layman's language, I will tell you that any of the functions that is inside a smart contract is basically into it's basically encoded in its ABI, right? So if you have the ABI and if you have the address of the contract, you'll certainly get the smart contract, right? So you have the functions and you have the address. So with the combination of those two, you will get the smart contract, right? So you can just, it says here, it says if you want to interact with the ABI, you can do, this is for truffle, but let me show you. See here, let me show you await and contract.abi, I guess. If you do this, oh sorry, it should be ABI. Okay, it is. It should be contract.abi, I guess. I don't know why it is showing like this, but here it is, here is the ABI. Oh sorry, we don't have any contract right now, that's why it's not showing it, right? So it will not show any of the ABIs, right? But let's go into the 6th point. If you want to see the Ethernaut's owner, you can just do that also. Just click here and do Ethernaut and Ethernaut.owner, I guess, owner, right? And do the parenthesis, and here you have the promise, and the owner of the contract is this guy, right? And it says 6 point, it says you have to get test ether, and I've already told you how to get your test ethers. You'll have to go to the Goerli faucet and just log in and just click on send me ETH. It will send you 0.02 ETH, but Goerli is currently providing very less ETH, so you just move on to the Sepolia, it will give you more ETH, right? And then moving on to the next point, it says getting a level instance, right? So getting a level instance is like getting yourself a copy contract, and if you have the copy contract, you can do anything with it. And when you solve it, when you complete it, and when you'll have when you'll have a solved contract, you can just submit it to the main contract, and it basically says that yes, you have done everything correct, and you can just tinker with the instance and just correct it and fine tune it. When you have a completely solved puzzle and everything is in places, you'll just submit the instance to the main contract and Ethernaut contract, and it will take it, right? So that is how you get a level instance. And it says inspecting the contract, I'll show you in the future, and interact with the contract to complete the level, right? So you just do await and then contract.info, and then you can do this. Okay, it says when you are using the Chrome version 62, but you don't have to do this, you just do info. I think something is wrong. Looking into the levels info method contract, you should have, yes. Okay, no issue. No contract set. Click on the okay. Again, I'm doing the same mistake. When you have no contract, you will get nothing out of it, right? So first you'll have to get a new instance, right? So here it is, get a new instance. You just click on it. It is just giving you a new instance, and then you'll have to approve the transaction. So guys, why is it taking so much of Goerli ETH? It should not take this much of Goerli ETH, but let me just switch myself to not Goerli but then Sepolia. Let me see if Sepolia works. Okay, I have 0.4 Sepolia also. Let me just, everything is deleted. I'll just get an, okay, hello Ethernaut. I'll just do get new instance, right? Sometimes Goerli is, Goerli disturbs you a lot. It takes a lot of ETH, so better use Sepolia. So I'll just confirm the transaction, and then transaction will you can just check on the ether scan. When you'll go on the ether scan, it will show you the contract is pending or whatever the status of the contract is. But when when the status turns from pending to confirm, it says confirm transaction. So when you'll go here, it will show you instance address, right? So we were doing this, but it was not showing back then. But when I do this await contract.info, it will show you now, I guess. See, right? Right. So it says await contract.info. When I did this, it says you will find what you need in info 1 dot, right? So what is info 1? How do you know what is info 1? For that, you'll have to, first info 1 is basically a function, right? But you want to know what are how many functions are there in the contract, right? So for that, you'll have to go on to check the contracts ABI, right? So just do await and then contract dot ABI. When you do this, you'll have these many of the functions, right? Or whatever these things are. You just I'll have to maximize the console so that you can see everything, right? So at first, everyone knows that 0 is the first index and first is the second index, so it is very confusing, but that is okay. The length is 11. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to see how many functions are there, right? So at 0 there is what is there? You can see there is constructor. So this contract has a constructor, and anyone who does not know what constructor is, a constructor is basically it's a special type of function, and a function that only runs once in a contract, and that is when you deploy the contract or whenever you want for that instance. But constructor just runs one time in a contract, and that's it. That's the main function of the constructor function. That is it. It just runs once, constructor, right? So this is the first function, right? And there is this second function that says authenticate. There is this third function that says get cleared. There is this fourth function that says info. So we did info, right? We did await contract.info, right? So it said you will find what you need in info 1, but then there is this fifth function that is info 1, right? So I'll do await contract.info 1, right? And then I'll enter it. Okay, so it says try info 2 but with hello as a parameter, right? So when you go into the info 2, all you can notice is this array has 0, this array has a 0 element in it, this array has 0 element in it, but then this array has 1 element in it. So I think you can just notice the difference in it. So info get cleared, info and info 1 does not take all these functions have an array that does not take any of the input or does not give any of the output, right? But then info 2 has something in it, or either it takes the input or it gives the output. So we'll just inspect it right now. So it has input, and input does not input. Let me just open it. So input has length 1, okay, and then output has length 1, right? So when it basically says that it needs an input, this particular function needs an input. So if I do await contract dot info 2, right? If I do this without entering any of the parameters in it, without passing any of the parameters in it, let's see what it returns. It says invalid number of parameters for info 2. It was expecting 1, but it got 0, right? So we have inspected everything here, and it says info 2 basically takes 1 element in it. Sorry, info 2 basically takes something as a parameter, and that something is basically of it has a type of string, right? And it is a parameter, it has type of a string, it has type of a string, right? So when you do this, you basically know that it takes string, right? And whenever you input any string, you must do it in the inverted commas, right? So I'll do await contract dot info2, and it basically, when you did info2, it says try info1, it said try info2 but with hello as a parameter. So it is saying just pass hello as a parameter, right? And just click enter. And when you'll do this, it says the property infonum holds the number of the next info method to call. So basically it is saying you have to call something as a next function, but that name of the next function or info method is basically inside the info num. So I don't know, you guys must tinker about it, because before watching anything or before referring to any of the answers, you must try everything you can think of, right? So the first thing that came into my mind is I read a lot of time. I read this line a lot of time, and I could not crack it. I just did info num and I did this, and info num is not defined, right? So let me just do this, right? We have info num here, right? So what I'll have to do contract dot info num, right? So I'll do contract dot info num, right? Okay, it gave me 3 something. It has 42 as, I don't know what it is, but it has something as 42. And what this 42 gave me as a clue is we have something as info 42, right? So when you did info 2 and entered hello as a parameter, it says the property infonum holds the number of the next info method to call. So infonum is basically holding this 42, and this 42 is the name of the next info function to be called, that is info 42. I hope you guys are getting me, and let's just do this. Await contract dot info 42, right? And let's see what it gives me. It says the method name is the name of the next method. Let's see what it is. So we have this method name, and the method name is the name of the next method, right? So first things first, whatever you guys are thinking, what I do is before solving any of the challenge, what I do is I always look at the contracts ABI to look what other functions it has. Like it has info2, these many functions it has, right? So first thing is to just look at the ABI. This is what I do. This is how my mind works, and my mind is pretty damn slow. So the method name is the name of the next method. So we'll do await contract dot the method name, right? It gave me the method name is the method this, right? So when you go up and you see here the method this, whatever it is, you just type this. So await contract dot method this. Okay, this one. Okay, I did this, and it says if you know the password, submit it to authenticate. When you go to the password, let me just show you. When you go to the password, it says, so if you know the password, so you'll have to call. There is some function that has a name of password. Let's see if I call the function password, what it gives me. Does it give me any of the output or not? So I'll do await contract dot password, right? Okay, it gave me the password, and the password is Ethernaut 0, and it says submit it to authenticate. So when you go to the authenticate needs an input. You see here is array, and array needs an input. Either input, it needs an input, and it'll either give you an output or whatever, right? So I'll just do await contract dot authenticate, right? And I'll just pass Ethernaut 0 as the password or as the parameter, and I'll just paste it. Let's see what it gives me. Okay, so finally when I did this, it triggered a transaction, right? So this transaction has something to do with submitting the instance. It is basically saying that it might be saying that you have you might have cracked the code or whatever it is. So let's just see what happens when you submit the transaction, right? So once again, you can go to the Sepolia testnet to see whether your transaction is pending or what the status of the transaction is. The transaction is successful here, and MetaMask has has given me a pop-up also. So this is it. We have got everything. We have like transaction receipt, and this is the transaction number. We have the block number, everything we've got. And finally, what we'll have to do is, see, I'll just minimize this console. It takes a lot of time for me to figure out where the console's boundary is. So after so it gives you a tip also. Don't forget that you can always look into the contracts API. So that is what I have been doing, and that is what you guys should be doing. And after doing everything, if you think that the level is basically completed, you can just submit your instance, and when the instance has been submitted to the mean contracts, it will basically tell you that either you have cracked or not. So I'll just do this. Again, it will trigger a transaction into the blockchain, and you'll just have to confirm it. After confirming, it will tell you whether you have completed the challenge or not. And I think I have completed the challenge. I have already done it once before also, but to just show you guys how it looks. Okay, here it is, transaction 10 confirmed, and here it is, everything's here. Hello, well done, well done, well done, well done, and so many of the well dones. And finally, it says congratulations, you have completed the tutorial. Have a look at the solidity code for the contract you just interacted with below. So we have interacted with so many of the functions. We had like 10 functions, and all those functions are here. See, function info, first function, second function, third function. This is the fourth function, this is the fifth function, this is the sixth function. And one more thing is here to notice that info42 does not take any of the parameter, right? Info2 took the parameter, and that parameter was hello. And here it says you have to give hello as a parameter, and if this hello, and if the parameter that is passed into the ABI, this parameter matches hello, and that both has been converted into Keccak 256, and when both are equal, it says return the property info num holds the number of the next info method to call. And this Keccak 256 is something that is that is similar to SHA by coding, I think, and this basically encrypts into the blockchain, something like that, right? So, and it says return a wrong parameter, right? If you're not correct, it will say wrong parameter. Okay, right? So these are the things, and we have these are the state variables we have, and this is the contract instance. These are the state variable. We had state variable as 42 password, and info num had been initialized to 42, and the method name is initialized to this one, and this is the constructor function, and this is it, guys. And I think when you, after submitting, when you do get await contract dot get cleared, when you do this, it will return true, right? But before submitting the instance or before solving the puzzle, if you would have done this, it would have given you false, because get cleared is set as false, right? But now get clear returns, get cleared returns clear, and it was set as false, but now you have submitted the contract and submitted the instance, so it will be turned into the true. So this is it, guys, and I think this video was pretty long because I have I don't know, I have like explained well or not. I'm new to this explaining stuff, but I hope I did well. And if you guys have liked my video, and if you guys want me to continue on this journey, I'll just ask you guys to please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll give a lot of informative videos and a lot of coding things, basically about smart contracts auditing and smart contract development journey, right? So this is it, guys. If you guys have liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. And this is it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, see ya.